Alright, well hello, I'm Chris, and this is my 68 through 72 Chevelle sun visor video. Now my car is a 70 Chevelle, so we're mainly going to be doing the 68 through 70 style. These are the 71-2 style, they're smaller. In this video we're going to be going over all the visor related stuff. So that's the visor, that centerpiece, and the new rear view mirror over there. We're just going to take everything apart, show you the screws, because a lot of this stuff is missing or screwed up. Okay, so to make long story short, we're just end up buying new ones. You're gonna have to do that, you might as well. And we'll go through everything that happened to me. I was trying to restore some, and then I was trying to clean up some originals, and none of it worked out. And then we'll go over the problems I'm having with the new ones. Okay, so first of all, this is 68 through 70 style, the long ones, but 68 and 9 used this kind of material. 70s used the perforated stuff. 71 and 72s, they're just smaller, and they use that perforated stuff. Okay, so if you have some that look like this, real bad pitting, this destroyed, there is no saving this. You just have to get new ones. But before you buy new ones, it's very important not to throw this away, because it's got this little swivel thing. 68 through 70 have this, and you may possibly need the things that this is fastened on, and you may possibly need this whole piece right here. But I'm just saying, it's very important that you do not throw these in the trash until you get all your new stuff. You'll see why. Okay, so this is the one I tried to recover. We're gonna put some footage in I shot before, just taking a look at this one. This is the one we're gonna try to restore, and we saved this for the correct dimensions. Let's slowly take this apart so we see exactly what is going on here. Okay, it's got these two wrapped around and stapled right here. Get this out. Okay, so I have one on this side. Now we pay attention to how this was taped down. So it just looks like this was cut into thirds on both sides, and then one of the thirds wrapped around. Still good. It was never exposed to much moisture because it's not nasty. It's just old. It feels real brittle, so it was exposed to moisture. It just tightens this up, pops it off. You buy your new headliner, it's going to come with an extra piece for your sail panels and supposedly for your sun visors. But the piece I got from OPGI did not have enough for 2 sun visors. It would have had enough for 2 71, 72 sun visors, but just did not have enough for 2 of these long ones. Now since this one's shrunk down, we're going to cut it extra big on purpose. Now to make this, I had to set it under a concrete block because it was all warped. I had to buy that brown press board over there. I think it was like $8, and just cut a perfectly identical piece. Okay, so this has these staples that'll need to be taken out. I don't know if we're going to reuse those or not, but pay attention to the position of this. If you can see how it is just straight with that. So, and we'll save it if we ever make these again, but it has to be perfect. I mean, just figure out how to cut that out. And this video can change at any time. I mean, I can just get fed up with this and just go buy new ones. That's why I'm making this video, in case people out there might want to try this. So the whole point is that after this is all padded, this is going to be stitched exactly around this. Now let's see if we can get the padding in there. That looks fine. Let's see how the original padding hasn't shrunk. It's actually just like if they would have cut this piece from the factory. Oh, then these would have been stapled. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bail on this project of trying to make these. Right here, this one came out okay on this side, but on this side where we have this fold, see, there's some certain way that an upholstery person would have cut that where it doesn't do that. You probably would never see that, but if you look at a real one, there's some kind of tucked in, I just have no idea. And I don't know. This is just not gonna work. Bye. Okay, so the next thing to know is that I had these two for my car. They're off of a 69, but I was gonna use them until I could find some correct ones or better ones, and I was just gonna restore them. I was gonna fix these up. And what happened was that these used to actually look like this. They were original dirty ones, And whenever I washed them with the bleach soap, because we're gonna have to spray these with the vinyl paint to make a match, it swelled it up a little bit and it popped all the stitches that were left off. And you could see it only has, those are all the stitches that are left of it. When it swelled up, it popped them all off. But this one could still be used. See, and I had a bunch of sun visors, and I actually found this one could be usable, and you know, this one could possibly work after we cleaned them up to fix those. But the thing is that if yours pop off, which they probably are, see, these are popped off already, pay attention to this stitch right here. If this stitch is good, then you could possibly just contact cement this back and it'll work. But that stitch has to be good in there. The other one, when it swelled up, it popped that stitch right there. And it pretty much just looked like this. This was an experiment that I was doing. If it's popped right there, like this stitch part right here, and I was just kind of re-sewing it by hand to see if it even worked. What happens is, even by hand, just with real light pressure, it splits because it already had been sewn and there was holes. So in other words, this material is real brittle. When you try to re-sew this part right here, it's just gonna split open right there. See how that split where I was sewing it? I got kind of mad, so I just kind of put it over like this, and I started to sew it, re-sew it right here. And then I just kind of barely pulled on it and it just ripped everything off. So in other words, the problem is this material is too brittle. See that? So that's a test you could do. If yours are screwed up, give them a test, and if they do that, it's going to be very difficult to fix them. So this one actually looked just like this one, and it's trash now. But remember, save your pieces. Now, I don't know if I went over this already. This spins. They're usually going to be pretty damaged. I don't even know if they sell that. So we'll just take apart this real nasty one, because that's the situation everybody's in. Alright, so right here, for these three that bolt to the body of the car, these are the original screws. They are 1/2 inch long, and that's what they look like, kind of rounded off at the top. In order to get these off, be real careful with this screw. It's got to come all the way out. Most people have this screw, but it's about 5/8 inches long. Now be careful with this, because I have broke them before. You're gonna have to pry open just a little bit, but be careful, man, they will break. Try to get this off. It's gonna have a plastic insert, so just kind of watch for it. Now immediately pretty much go in there and just check this plastic insert, make sure it's good. See, this one's actually brittle and it's no good, and this one is not usable. This is just a bad one. Can't use any of this. 68 through 72s will use these. Out of all my parts I've saved for years, I only had 2 that are somewhat usable, but they're not perfect at all. I think these are the best 3. It's really sad how just one little pit like that just ruins the whole look of it. But man, don't worry about them. These have just been quadruple zero steel wool, and then kind of spray some WD-40 on them, and it kind of gives them a decent look. But don't worry about it if you got some pits, man. Nobody's gonna notice it. Nobody's gonna talk crap about, you know, if you got some little pitting. But yeah, they will if you put that in there. All right, so let's look at a good one. Okay, all your screws, you can just clean them up with some steel wool. Okay, the plastic thing, okay, that's pretty much it with those. 68 through 72s, I'll use the same piece right here. It's attached with these screws right here. Just regular old Phillips head screws, about 5/8 long. It's got a screw like that. Now the screw I've seen missing more than any other screw is this one right here on these cars. This is going to be a hard screw to find, but that's what it looks like. 5/8 long. So that's all like that. It goes on the car like that. Okay, I actually just gave them all away, but the 71 and 2 covers, since these do not go in there, it's just a smooth looking cover. 68 through 70s are going to use a cover like this. I had one, I just restored this one for fun, but see, you can put the black vinyl paint on there and they work good. The main thing is 68 through 70 have this piece like this. I think 68 through 72s do use a 12-inch mirror, and then 67 back, I think they use a 10-inch. I'm not 100% sure, just check that out. But I had to buy it. You're gonna probably have to buy a new mirror too. They're like $60 something, something like that. I had about 10 of these mirrors. Every single one of them had like some kind of weird looking stuff on the glass, and it looked real ugly. It didn't look good. Had to buy a new one. You'll probably have to buy a new one too. So we get that, it just goes in there. Okay, now on to the new one. Okay, so these are normally about $100 to $120. I actually got a deal on these for $50. I'll show you why. If you have a chevelle place, go in there and ask them if they have any return ones, because that's what these were. I don't know if these were coming out or if they just wouldn't stick in there. I don't know what the deal was, but evidently there's some problem. And let's try to figure out what that problem is. So you see that? There's a difference. So let's see if it caused any problems, or if the problem is just it didn't want to stick in there. Okay, so remember the screw has to be out. Okay, they're working like that. I thought they were going to pull it out, but so that's not the problem. The problem must be that they just didn't want to stay in here. Okay, that's real loose. Okay, so this is just something to be aware of, but I can already tell what happened. Sometimes these are super tight. Probably put them on there and went to go jerk them, and it's not a complete circle, but it has a place that can be tightened. So we're just going to barely try to tighten this with our hands, just to show that we can even make an improvement like this. Okay, see, now they're real tight. Okay, that's fixed. But we would tighten a little bit better. I just have dirty hands right now, but okay, so I think that's cool, because I thought I was going to have to JB weld this or do some crazy stuff. So that seems like that would be a common problem too. You see how fancy that looks? And this one does have some pitting on there too, but so much better. Now, what do we do about this thing? So like I said, don't throw your old ones away. Okay, and I honestly don't even want to think about how many people out there have thrown these away. And I don't know if you can buy these. I didn't see them in the magazine, but you probably can. So let's see if we can even get this off, if it's gonna break. Okay. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go wash this with bleach soap real good. So we washed this and it's still ugly. We don't have time to paint this right now. Let's just stick it on the new one. See if this works. Okay. Very important stuff. Now the only test we need to do now, just see if this would go in there. And like I said, since this is all old stuff, I'll probably never pull it out, and I will scream at somebody if they try to. Well, I was kind of fortunate to get these for 50 bucks, but these are $100 to $120, and make sure you get the right grain. The mirror, I believe, was like 65. These can be, I don't know, $59 or $60, I believe. I don't even know how much that is. This is probably 30 something dollars. So it does have some little pitting on there. So that's why I was saying, don't worry about that. Just clean them up. They look fine. I'm just going to leave that alone. Well, that's it for the video. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.